everyone, it's Goska again and Gosia and Jutta astrologer and Jutta life coach and mentor, myself life coach. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking about connection, how important it is in our life to be connected. Myself, I remember how difficult it was when we migrated many years ago, 20 something, oh my God, I don't remember how many, 29 I think, when we migrated to Australia, and the first thing we wanted, it was to connect with someone. So, Gosia, can you tell me something about your need for connection?
I haven't prepared a set definition for this topic today.
Oh, different.
We need variety. It's okay.
Yes, but I did research, some research, at least a little bit of research on the internet, and from what I've done, it is apparent that there are many scientific studies that show that having satisfying relationships increases our well-being, life satisfaction, and even lifespan. We are just simply happier when we are connected with others. If you have ever flown over a country or a continent at night, you must have seen the groupings of lights. We human beings are not evenly dispersed over the globe. We tend to form communities. Science has also shown that making connection with others is our fundamental physiological need. There are 4 facts worth knowing about human connections. They are necessary for our health. The need for the connection is wired to our psyche, so we are actually born with it. A connection happens when we pay attention to one another, and a human connection is an exchange of energy which has the power to uplift and inspire us. This kind of connection has little to do with networking, for example, which is mostly about finding jobs and moving, climbing up the social ladder. It has also little to do with social interactions, with socializing, because when you socialize, you are more focused on attending events and being seen. But human connection is about listening, about understanding, and tuning in to the unspoken messages. Is about sensing this unseen but palpable energy between people, which is created to link us so we can accept each other. I have just recently found out about this phenomenon when the pandemic started and the lockups created a new reality, social distancing and the lack of physical contact. Yes, we can still communicate like we are doing now. We can use Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp. We can also write and say almost anything we want on Google or Twitter, but this does not create meaningful connection. It it just builds frustration, radicalization of opinions, and distancing. A meaningful connection happens when you are able to set aside your own agenda and focus on the other person. When you are actually hearing what they are saying and sensing what they are not saying, when you are prepared to change your position or your opinion because the person you are connected with has something important to say and you want to respect that. I was asking myself, is it possible to build such a links using social media? And I think that yes, it is possible, but we would have to open up and listen very intently when we are having discussions. Very similarly to what the three of us are doing with our clients, for example.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry, because there is a social connection going on in another room. My husband is at a social gathering,
Like
connecting
I got a
with
social
friends.
connection here too.
Oh, you have a little connector sitting on your lap.
Yeah, making noises and barking.
Yes, Gosia, I agree totally with you. The situation with connection is like that. First, sometimes we feel down and then we think, oh, why bother? I will not drink anyone. And then we start to withdraw socially from our friends. And then when we really suffer, no one is calling us for a couple of days. And then we think, oh, I can manage that. But in general, we are in pain because we feel excluded. And the next step could be that we don't want to connect. And it is very dangerous because it leads, there are like first signs that we are depressed. And then it's rolling down. If we are stressed, we think, oh no, I will not really call anyone because why bother? Why bother? And my problems are my problems. But what is very important among our friends, which we feel that we are connected to, is that we are really interested what's going on in their lives. If it's not authentic, if it is like you meet someone on a street and says, how are you? And the answer is, okay, everything is fine. And then, you know, you just go along your own life and the other person do the same. It's not a deep connection. The deep connection is when we really care and when we know what is actually happening in your life. Because if I know, for example, that Gosia's daughter is overseas and something is happening over there, that's the connection. That's that I really care because family is number one as a priority in my life. So it means when I ask questions, I'm asking about the family. How are your kids? How is your husband? You know, how are you? And you probably know there is a whole program or system which is called Are You Okay? Because it is the first sign if you are not okay and you withdraw from social contacts and you just don't want to bother anyone. It means you are on a bad path. So, I think I mentioned at one stage, I was watching beautiful film. It was animated, but it is for all age. And it is about a Yeti who was excluded from his community because Yeti thought that there are little things living outside their community which are human. And I really recommend this film for everyone because you can see how dangerous it is when someone is excluded. So if you really care about your friends, call them, or they can be neighbors, they can be co-workers at work. Call them and ask, how are you today? Really deeply. What's going on in your life? And then we have connection. Thank you. Jutta, now it's your turn, darling.
My turn. Okay. Kuji, are you being quiet now? Ruhe, okay. Anyway, so connection. Well, connection is and belonging is a primal need. When you go back aeons back, if you were excluded from your tribe, that meant you were dead. I mean, that's just it. So it's really inbuilt in us, and we need deep connections. Even if you have only one, but for our emotional, physical, mental well-being. It is, to belong, to be understood, to be heard, all these things we need. And and if you want to be emotionally and mentally, well, if you don't connect with yourself first, I mean, there's a connection with yourself and there's connection with others. So first you have to also, you have to learn to connect with yourself. So many people just don't connect to themselves, and then they're trying to fill that hole with other people. But they will find other people who do the same. They're not connected to themselves. So, at the beginning of the relationship, they fill each other's hole in the soul. And then after a while, when the chemicals and the novelties worn off, then they will find, wow, you cannot connect to somebody else if you don't connect to yourself.
Yeah. And then it is shallow. And that's when we know this feeling that, you didn't connect. Yes, it is, I call it peripheral friends. When I know so many people, but really there is no connection. And when I need something, I don't call them because I don't have this connection. I just don't feel like I have those thoughts. Oh, why bother? Why bother?
And you see, like I must say, I have heaps of stories where I have connected with people within half an hour I didn't know, and it was just wow, and I was giving them a hug or something. You actually don't have to know somebody to connect.
It can be a stranger.
You just have to start talking, but nowadays when people are on their phones, people don't connect anymore, and connecting means eye contact, and then and also if you're not in connection with yourself and you don't own your feelings, they will they come up somewhere, creep up somewhere else, so it's really important that you in tune with your body, with your soul, with your, that's why it's so, and what they say is so within, so without. So, if there's no connection within, there's no outside connection. So it's very important first to have a connection with yourself. And you just have to look at art or music or whatever, all that is actually coming from what I can say, from connecting within, So I think it's your connection to yourself determines the quality of the connections to others.
Thank you, Jutta. What I think that as well we need this connection to nature, and that's what it's very, very important for our mental health, because when we are stuck, like at the moment in our houses or apartments or townhouses, whatever, whenever you live, I just have this urge to connect to nature. It can be anything. I can just go outside, be in a garden and weed my vegetable patch, or just, just look in the sky and look and wait for this connection, because it just open your heart straight away. You make it feel you.
But it's easy, I think. Maybe it is when we like to connect to nature because we are nature.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that is what we forget.
So we can't sit only in our armchairs because the nature is there calling us. Okay, so ladies, thank you very much. And I'm drinking tea as usual. We are doing it at our nice meetings. And see you everybody next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. See you later.